Alright, that's it for this one.
Okay, where to next?
So the next dimension, well, I actually built this dimension at the same time as I was building Throne of Snow, which is also on this gal, because the contest came up. The
Total transformation?
total transformation. Yeah. And I just decided to do something small for that. And so in this dimension, I have to give really, really specific props to Hyirma. I'm not really sure how to pronounce her character's name, but when I first got into dimensions, before I even knew that I could shard hop to look at other people's dimensions, I had never even thought about the concept before. And I was, there were the Rift forums, the Dimension Touring Company, and Dimension Gallery were the three sites that literally, because I'm kind of obsessive compulsive when it comes to these kinds of things when I get into them. I'll sit on my tablet at night before I go to bed, and I'll check all three of those sites before I go to bed every night. But when I first started looking at dimension galleries and going through and looking at everybody's, when I saw the little flower princess that Hyirma made, I was like seriously in love with it, totally in love with it. And when I figured out how to shard hop, I went over to her shard and I went and viewed them in person, and I sent her a mail and I was like, I love all of the ladies that you make in your dimensions so much. Do you mind if I make one? She was like, no, of course not. So again, like I said, it's not even remotely a direct copy, but it's definitely, you can tell it's an inspiration from hers. But so I would have never thought to make something like this without seeing hers for sure. But I love my little ice princess. I think she turned out really cute.
She's gorgeous.
Probably half of the item count in here is on her.
I
And
love the
again, with the
colors.
400 item I love count, the color. Thank you. Yeah, with the 400 item count, I definitely wasn't able to do everything that I probably would have liked to do in here. But this tree is another one of my favorite pieces in here because this, I used those moonlit bushes, and the cherry trees are kind of what was my inspiration on it. And I honestly don't know what made me think to put those together, but yeah, I think that I had a bush down below at the base, and then I was like, oh, let's see what it looks like up here. But I don't know why, I just love that.
Yeah, you can see the influence with the cherry tree in it. That was one of the things that I liked when I first zoned in here from the contest.
So because I have, this is another thing that I'm learning as I go, is that you do have to be careful not to have too many items in a dimension that in a small space like this that have like lighting effects. Because like right now when I'm looking at the altar, none of the orbs are on, and it's just because I put so many in the same area. And the same thing for over here. I actually have some stained glass lighting in these areas. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see them on my computer, but I don't know who can see them and who can't, so I can't bring myself to take them out. But the way that it was lighting up these crystals was really, really pretty, but ever since I put them in, I haven't been able to see it.
I'm not seeing them.
Yeah. So I've kind of learned to cool it a little bit on items that have effects like that. Again, just learning as I go. And this little building, like I said, I do a lot of facade work rather than actually building buildings that you can that you can use. So this is like a mausoleum with the Bravain walls and then a roof, and it's just a whole bunch of pieces put together to make it look like it's an actual structure when it's not.
I would never have guessed. I would have thought it would have been a structure that you just kind of like sunk into the background.
I used it to cover up the sorry, you guys hear my daughter.
Yeah.
Um, I used it to cover up that the structure that's in this zone. The kind of rocky. That's her fake. Okay.